it's time for the big Trivandrum battle. I'm joined here at the Trivandrum Central with none other than the BJP candidate, Union MOS Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Rajiv, final stretch, absolutely last day of campaigning going on.
Last but one.
Last but one. Tell me, what are the thoughts in your mind? Because this is a big prestige battle in this prestige constituency.
Well, I'm not so sure the prestige battle, but it is a battle nevertheless. It's a three-way fight between the CPI and the Congress and the BJP NDA. And it's a battle not so much about people as much as it's about the future of Tirunelveli. And I have made it very clear from the 4th of March when I first came here, after my candidature was announced, that Tirunelveli over the last 15 to 20 years has had very little to show in terms of progress and development. And I intend to change that, and that is my candidature. So I am extremely happy today that the people of Tirunelveli are responding to the message of change. They certainly want more and more development and prosperity and jobs and skills and investment. And they want to certainly shrug away the last 20-25 years of rhetoric, unfulfilled promises, and really get somebody who can deliver.
You know, Shashi Tharoor's kind of building a campaign that you don't know what work has happened in the last 15 years in Trivandrum because you haven't been here.
Yeah, that's fine. I think Tharoor is entitled to his opinion and his wisdom and his make-believe world that he is simply a genius or whatever it is that he wants to. It's the people of Tirunelveli that will decide. Has the MP done what he is supposed to have done or not? I don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything. It is the people of a constituency at the time of every election that will decide whether an MP has lived up to the trust that the people have placed in him.
Yeah.
And I will suggest to you today, and it will be vindicated on the day of the election, that he certainly has been given 3 opportunities by the people of Tirunelveli. Not 1, not 2, 3 opportunities. And today Tirunelveli remains highest unemployment. 37% of the college seats are vacant. There is no investment worth the name coming here. There are no jobs being created here. And if somebody still wants to pretend that things are hunky-dory, more power to him.
They say you're an outsider.
Look, I am an outsider to the classic politics of the UDF and the LDF. I am an outsider. I do not believe in making promises and running away. I do not believe in fear-mongering. I do not believe in appeasement. I believe in doing real work. I don't believe in giving myself titles of the global citizen and India's most admired man and the most genius man. I don't believe in all that. I am a doer. I have come here to do something, and therefore from the day one I said, Ini karyam nadakam, which means now the work will start. I am very happy to be an outsider to Shashi Tharoor and Pannian Ravindran, which is in all ways I am very different from them. I am 180 degrees diametrically opposite to what Tharoor and the Congress stands for. I am extremely different from what Pannian Ravindran and the failed policies of the left stand for.
But has it taken a little bit of time for you to get to know the constituents? Because you've done most of your politics in Karnataka so far.
I have worked very intensely from day one. You know me, that I am not a person who will sit around and wait for things to happen. I went length and breadth of this constituency, and today if I have the confidence of issuing a set of promises and a commitment that I will undertake for the next 5 years, it is because I have listened to the people. I have heard what problems they have had for the last 10-15 years that remain unsolved. So there is certainly a large number of problems that have remained unaddressed for 10-15 years, that have become big problems, and there are many areas of potential for Tirunelveli that have been unexplored and untapped.
Before I come to the potential in your vision document on unemployment, for example, on the education central institutes or even state institutes, for example, you know, the Congress and the left say, but you are in center for the last 10 years. So what do you have to show for employment? You're Skill Development Minister, MOS.
In the sense that we have created 21 crore new jobs in India. We are building the largest factories, electronic manufacturing factories are being built in India. Mobile phones that used to be imported under the UP are being manufactured and exported from India. In case the headline hasn't reached these two gentlemen, they should pull up the Google and check what has happened to India in the last 10 years. This is an ostrich in the sand because we don't want to acknowledge the development of the last 10 years. We want to pretend and live in this make-believe world that Karl Marx still is relevant and Rahul Gandhi is relevant. It may be relevant to Shashi Tharoor and Pannian Ravindran, but to the rest of the country that is moving ahead, they are irrelevant. And in Thiruvananthapuram, it is all about breaking the shackles and taking the foot that is being placed on the brake of development by a combination of two parties that are indie partners.
Yes.
Understand, these two are not different partners. These are parties that are sitting and having chai and samosa day in and day out in Delhi and talking about how bad Narendra Modi ji is and how bad the BJP is. If BJP is so bad, how come we are the fastest growing economy in the world? How come we are creating so many jobs? How come we are creating record investment? How come the world looks at India today as a global power? That they don't have answers. Oh, what have you done for Thiruvananthapuram? Now what is that? Long list you want me to give for what Prime Minister Narendra Modi has done? I'll tell you. 9.9 lakhs PM Ayushman cards in Thiruvananthapuram district. 24,800 PM Awas Yojana homes. 4 lakh homes that have been given Jal Jeevan mission because of PM Jal Jeevan. So if they ask a question, they should be ready to take the answer. But saying something and scooting and hiding behind this sheen of spin is not politics. People of Thiruvananthapuram don't want this anymore. The global citizen has run its course. People want real work. Nobody is bothered about how many presidents you met and what dictionary size you have. People want to know what have you done in the last 15 years. Stick to the fact. And if you put in your 66-page document every scheme of the government of India and say, I did it, I did the national highway, then I suggest that you put Chandrayaan also in it, you put INS Vikrant also in it, because that is all done by Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Interesting you mentioned Karl Marx and Rahul Gandhi in the same breath.
Yeah.
Because the biggest thing being talked about of the Congress manifesto today is wealth redistribution.
It shows you and it proves without any ambiguity that the CPM and the Congress are two sides of the same coin, both politically and ideologically. In the year 2024, we are living in a world where the youth want opportunities, they want entrepreneurship, they want to create startups, they are going to contribute to global economy, they are going to contribute to the future of the world of innovation. Can you imagine somebody talking about redistribution of wealth? That concept went out of fashion after Stalin died and after USSR was split and was buried Karl Marx's ideology. China doesn't do it anymore. Now Rahul Gandhi wants to bring redistribution of wealth. My suggestion is strongly the following. After these elections, like that Swamiji who went and found a country called Kailasa, independent country, Rahul Gandhi should discover an island. He should make all of these redistribution of wealth policies there. Take Shashi Tharoor and make him foreign minister, and there will be global citizen and redistribution of wealth in one same island.
They do say that we have not said redistribution. This is what you are reading into it. We want to distribute India's resources equally, especially amongst the lower classes or the marginalized and the weak. And the BJP, particularly
the Congress, when caught in its duplicity, lies, will always now try and spin itself out of the problem. Oh, we did not say redistribution. We did not use the word we used the word distribution.
They say we haven't talked about Muslims either.
No, I'm talking about redistribution of it. I'm not getting into the religious aspect of it. We are talking about redistribution. The reason there is a suspicion is because they are the ones under Prime Minister Manmohan Singh who created the issue of redistribution of the national resources. Today's India is about people being given the opportunity to succeed through skills, through education, through credit, through capital. And those who work hard should succeed more. Those who need help should get help. It is not about one man sitting on top and saying, I will decide who should get what distribution. Is this the world that we live in? This is 2024. This is not circa 1917.
But what about the fact that they say that the BJP stands for Hindutva, it's a North India party, stands for
why should you
against minorities,
Look,
and he's hearing that politics doesn't
I
work.
have a simple point of view. Why are you believing that these people and what they say are character references or certificates of authenticity? These are people today in Thiruvananthapuram. I say with all authority. Both Pannian Ravindran and Shashi Tharoor have had not one idea that they have put forth that will improve the lives of people. Not one idea. They have talked about Manipur, fiction. They have talked about beef ban, fiction. They have talked about CA taking away rights, fiction. Lies. Not fiction, lies. Not one point have they said about I will improve the travel conditions of those who struggle every day on suburban trains. I will improve the lives of people who are living in Thiruvananthapuram's colonies that don't have water that don't have solid waste management. That I will basically make sure that the fishing community that have been for 6 or 7 years living on the edge of deprivation, I will solve their problems. No. Their entire political discourse is around creating these imaginary conversations. BJP is Vargiyavadi, BJP is communal. Last 10 years under Narendra Modi ji, there has been peace, amity, and absolutely not one scheme has discriminated on the basis of religion, caste, or gender. Point out, these are people clinging on to a failed narrative that is increasingly failing and disappearing.
What about your vision document? What stands out, if you could tell us?
No, this
succinctly?
vision document is started with me saying on 4th of March, based on my understanding of Tirunelveli, that nothing is working in Tirunelveli. And I said, ini karyam nadakam, which means things will work here. Then the question came, what should be the work? And we ran a whole crowdsourcing, citizen sourcing effort called What is Endana Karyam? What is the work? And we got a whole bunch of suggestions from people, existing problems that remain unsolved, and new ideas to unleash the potential of Tirunelveli. And we have tabulated that into a whole document, and more importantly, made sure that this is not a city-centric development plan. This is covering rural Tirunelveli, Parashala, as much as it is covering Tirunelveli city. This is truly what we call Samagra Vikasanam, which is inclusive development of the city and its people. It addresses the farmers, it addresses the fishing community, it addresses the techies, it addresses the pensioners, it addresses the old people and the poor.
Shashi Tharoor says that you promise things that an MP cannot do.
Okay, he can't do it. He should admit he can't do it. That's fine.
The state government will not let you do a lot of things like land acquisition
that is
and all
the
that.
difference between Shashi Tharoor and me, or anybody in the Congress and anybody in the BJP. We today, when we publish a manifesto, 99% of what we say, we do. That is what you see in 2014 manifesto, 2019 manifesto. We deliver on what we say. These parties are the ones who said Garibi Hatao for the last 65 years. Where did Garibi go? Garibi didn't go anywhere. It took Narendra Modi ji to have 25 crore people come out of poverty. There is a difference. There is a difference between the BJP and the Congress. There is a stark difference between me and Shashi Tharoor. He doesn't believe things are doable. He believes that the role of an MP stops with writing letters and raising 3 questions in Parliament. My perspective is that my role starts with when I see a problem and ends when the problem is solved.
What do you make of this left Congress fight? Is that benefiting you, or is
It is the
leaving
biggest.
you out of the competition?
It is the biggest political drama since Shakespeare wrote Romeo and Juliet. It is a love story that is pretending to be full of hate. It is a drama. There is a clear understanding between the Congress and the left. And I don't have evidence to prove it, but my thinking is that they have decided that the state government and the state legislature will be the CPM and the central parliament will be Congress. There is absolutely no doubt.
No, but
nowhere outside Kerala is the left and the Congress not in alliance. Okay, so let us be clear. Right across the border from here in Tamil Nadu, they are in alliance. Right across the border from here, North Karnataka, they are in alliance. Right across the border, Andhra and Telangana, they are in alliance. So, are they thinking the people of Tirunelveli and Kerala are fools to believe that they are not in alliance?
But the left is primarily targeting the Congress. They're targeting Rahul Gandhi's candidature.
That is the last 2 days. That is the last 2 days. This campaign has been going on for the last 40 days. They know things are slipping out of their control. They are now desperate in a battle for the Muslim vote. They are now both playing the game that the Congress played in Telangana with the BRS. First, they tried to say that the Congress tried to say that the left is in alliance with the BJP. That did not work. They used me to make that case. That did not work. Now they are trying to make a case between the two of them, saying that they are fighting with each other. There's an interesting joke that came out on WhatsApp yesterday that said if Rahul Gandhi is so keen to send Pinarayi Vijayan to jail, then vote for Modi.
But apart from that shadow boxing, what that's doing is it's telling the public that you are not in the competition. It's effectively a competition between the left and the Congress.
That's what they would like to. They would like people to believe. I am not only in the competition, not because of me, because of what values I espouse, what the vision that I'm promising to the people of Tirunelveli. And the people of Tirunelveli will decide who's in the race and who's not in the race. It's certainly not two colleagues of the India Alliance sitting and having coffee and samosa all
So
the time.
this is the BJP's strongest constituency in Kerala. You've come second twice, but this is your first election. Realistically speaking, how confident are you?
No, I'm extremely confident. I'm extremely confident.
You're
I
going
have
to
never
beat it
come
3
in.
times sitting
Look,
incumbent?
I have never taken on a challenge that I have not succeeded in. Okay, so I'm not about to start now. And I believe in this constituency. I believe in the people of Tirunelveli, and I believe that I can make a difference there. And I also believe that the people of Tirunelveli have given 3 opportunities to Shashi Tharoor. They've given 1 opportunity to Pannian Ravindran. All 4 opportunities have been dismal flops. And now it's time for them to try out somebody new, give a new face and opportunity. That's me.
Overall in Kerala for the BJP, big push in
I'm not
in
going to
Kerala.
speculate on that. That is something is your job to do. I certainly won't get into that.
Okay. One message to the electorate, final, few hours left. Why should they vote for you rather than somebody who's familiar, somebody they know?
Look, my proposition, and I, with great humbleness and humility, I appeal to the people of Tirunelveli. You have given multiple opportunities to the sitting MP. You have given 1 opportunity to the CPI contender, Pannian Ravindranji. And you know very well that the last 15-20 years, there has been absolutely no progress in Tirunelveli. And all I am asking today, humbly, with great humility, is for me to be given an opportunity to serve you and to implement in the next 5 years the vision that I have laid out for the future of Tirunelveli and all the people of Tirunelveli. That is my humble request.
Thank you so much, Rajesh
Thank you.
Chandrasekhar. All the very best.
you.
We'll speak again.
Yes.
Of course, on June 4th.
Thank you.